All right, so we got the UDR out after the rear diff install. So I figured I'd take it on the concrete first. That's where you're gonna see I call it a disadvantage, but some people like it, of the locked rear diff. So when you have a high traction surface with the locked rear diff, you're sending power no matter what to both rear wheels equally. So on a hard surface, it's gonna bite and want to flip over. So we'll see how this rear diff does on the concrete. I did fill it with 100K fluid because it was pretty empty. I don't know what came in it. 100K may be too much, so you'll have to play around with that depending on your driving style. But the thicker the diff fluid, the more equal the power is going to go to each rear wheel. So if you put a thinner fluid in there, you'll get, more or less traction on each rear wheel depending on what traction you're getting on your surface. So we'll see how this thing does. So in the comments, I did get somebody asking, will it still power slide? I'm not sure if he meant on dirt or on concrete, but as you can see, it still will slide around on the concrete, and I'm not getting any tendencies for it to want to bite and flip over. So in regards to hard surfaces, obviously I don't plan on running on concrete a lot, especially with these tires, but it's not wanting to bite at all and flip over. So as you can see, it just distributes the power. It still handles and accelerates really well. Still will slide around for you. So in my opinion, it still does everything it did before, just doesn't want to bite and flip over, which is what I was going for. So in that regard, I'm pretty happy with the upgrade so far, and 100K fluid seems to be just fine. So far very pleased with it. If you are going to be sliding around a lot on the concrete, might look into rotating your tires depending on how much you do, but we will get this thing out on the dirt and see how it performs out there. All right, so we're out here in the back. The surface I have out here is really hard compact with just some loose loamy dirt on the top. So we'll see how the rear diff does in the dirt. So far, I mean, it's handling great. Under power, when you're grabbing the throttle, it does not want to grab and flip at all. So, I know there's true UDR lovers out there that swear by the rear diff and the realism compared to a real trophy truck, and you just got to adjust your driving style. But I have to say, for me, so far, I'm loving the rear diff. And so far, I'm going to say that I will definitely be staying with it. I'm not going to swap it back. So as you can see, it still definitely power slides. Does everything it did before, just without that tendency to flip over. So in my opinion, you're getting the best of both worlds. And I am still running on this truck on 4S. I have not tried to run it on 6. Just, so many people say that 6S just starts tearing stuff up, and this truck is not the easiest to work on. So I'm not looking to tear it up just yet. Go out here to the little jump. UDR is just so cool to watch it run, just to see how the truck squats in the back and picks up the front end and dives under braking. Just super cool truck. Oh. Looks like the jumps are starting to get a little washed out. We had some rain last week in June, which is rare for this area, and we've had some cool weather, so I'll take it though. Yeah, the lip on that other side just not cooperating. Oh, pains me to see this thing. The body on it's so cool and everything else. Hate to see it flip over, but at the end of the day, that's what it's made for. Try to get down low and get some suspension action. So yeah, it's just super cool to see how the suspension just works on this thing. Don't drive it much, but whenever I do, it is a blast. Try to get some just low profile suspension movement shots so you can see how this thing works. You can see just as soon as it leaves the ground, you get that nice suspension action of the droop and everything. Soaks up the bumps. You know, it's not meant for bashing. You can and destroy it, but I just like using it for what it was meant for, just that scale realism. It's just super cool to watch it work, you know. Traxxas put together a really cool truck. All right, so we'll end it off there. Like I said, I'm super impressed with the rear diff and plan on keeping it in. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you want to do this upgrade, you could refer back to my first impressions of the UDR to just see its tendency to want to flip over. You could also watch the install on this diff and see how to put it in. Thank you guys.